Welcome to the August 21st, 2013 Town Board meeting, and I'll officially call the board meeting to order. And I would ask that we please rise for the pledge. And tonight we have representatives from the Friends of the Library, and I'd ask that they please lead us in the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. I'd like to start the meeting off with calling on our friends from the library. Gary Richardson, Maggie Hession, Beverly Vaughn are here. They're all dressed up in a little bit of some colors here, the Penfield Library. They're celebrating a 37th anniversary or birthday if you want, and by the looks, all three of them could fit in that category. And Gary, maybe if you'd like to kick it off. I know you're the chair of this event, and welcome.
Okay, actually I'm the co-chairman.
Okay.
Shannon Flanagan and I share those duties. Want everyone to know that we're having our annual Friends of the Penfield Library sale starting September 10th. It runs from the 10th through the 14th, Tuesday through Saturday. On Tuesday the 10th, we start at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and that's a sale specifically for the Friends of the Penfield Library. If you're not a friend already, you can join at the door for $5 to join us at the sale on Tuesday. Wednesday and Thursday, the 11th and 12th, we're selling from 10 a.m. until 9 p.m. And on Friday the 13th, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., and that's our half-price sale. Now, the regular prices for our hardback books are $1, which they have been for as long as I've been around, and the paperbacks are 50 cents. And then we do sell CDs and videotapes and DVDs and a lot of things like that, and they'd be priced accordingly. But it's usually a pretty good bargain when you buy something from the sale, even when it's not at half price. And then on Saturday, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., we have a $3 bag sale. And historically, we've provided bags from either Wegmans or Tops, the paper bags and so forth. They're getting harder and harder for us to procure. So we're telling people, if you'd like to bring your own paper bags, as long as it's a traditional grocery size bag, that'd be fine. And if you want to bring one of the cloth bags that's a traditional grocery bag size, we'll be happy to let you load that up for $3 as well, which is a heck of a bargain. We're going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of about 90 to 95,000 items again this year. Our donors have been very, very generous. And our storage trailer in back of the library, I was telling Beverly and Maggie a little earlier, it's like Fibber McGee's closet. The doors are closed, but we're going to stand back when we open them because it's right to the edge. And we've still got a little room in our storage room in the library for more books between now and the 10th, but the trailer is as full as it's going to get. So we're very excited about this year's sale. I'm not sure if everybody's aware of one of the things that we do at the sale. It's a major problem for us to get all of the books out of the trailer, all of the boxes full of books that we've worked on all year, getting them out of the trailer and getting them to the rooms where the sale is in time so our volunteers can put the books up on the tables and get them sorted and everything like that. And we get a tremendous amount of support from the sports teams at Penfield High School and the coaches of the baseball team and the soccer team. And I know I'm going to leave a lot of people out, and I'm sorry if I do.
Girls basketball.
The girls basketball team, the National Honor Society. On Saturday morning, my gosh, we've got an army of young people from the high school who come and just move books, and it's amazing how fast that trailer empties out with that many hands working. So it's really it's quite a sight to see on the Saturday before the sale when we move all those books into the rooms. We have about 150 to 200 people who are friends of the library, aside from the high school people, who work on the sale itself. We have many shifts of people who come in and help us keep the books in order and help collect the money and everything else that has to be done during the sale. Certainly the cleanup afterwards and so forth. But throughout the year, we have a certain core of volunteers who work the whole year. Some of the people who sort books are actually in the library 2 or 3 times a week throughout the year because the donations come throughout the year. And those donations have to be taken from the library proper back into the room that's specifically set aside for us for sorting. We sort the items and we put them in boxes and mark the boxes appropriately so that when we take them out of the trailer, it's not a mystery where they go. And so those people are pretty dedicated. We have I think it's 4 or 5 sorters who share the duties of sorting, and then we have people that box the books and move the books out to the trailer and into our storage room. So it's not just a one-time-a-year thing for some of our volunteers. They actually do work throughout the year. So I don't know. Are there anything you want to add or anything?
We hope to see you there.
Yeah, we hope you all come. And
I mentioned on the way, and this is my daughter's favorite time at the library every year.
Great.
And as I also ask you every year, because it astonishes me, how much do the Friends of the Library make? How much did you make last year on this sale?
Oh, about 30,000.
Around
$30,000.
$30,000. Somewhere in that neighborhood, yeah. And it's money is set aside for the library to purchase things that they haven't budgeted for whatever reason and so forth throughout the year. And it makes for a really nice cushion for the library to be able to take advantage of the money. I think 30,000 is a really good number. I've been involved since 2004, and I don't think it's ever gone below 30,000. Sometimes it goes a little higher. It just depends on what type of books we get and what type of customers we get. But it's one of the largest in Western New York. I don't know of any really close Monroe County sales that are anywhere near the size of ours. I know Ithaca is very big and Buffalo is very big, but aside from those two, I think we're the biggest.
You're the benchmark.
Beg your pardon?
You're the benchmark.
Well, we'd like to
Or
think
one of the
so, yes.
benchmarks.
Well, we'd like to point out, too, that, we really need to get the people here in Penfield and surrounding areas coming to support us because so many people now are going to Nook and other appliances. We want them to still pick up a book and read it. So that's important to get out to the people to let them know. And we have often a lot of children's books left over. So have people come, bring their kids, let them sort through it. It's reasonable for them to get their books. Y'all have young children or grandchildren.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I had to bring that up since I'm in that category. And I get all my children.
And it's a wonderful
grandchildren's
category, I must say, right?
thank you for-
We're in the shake and return mode.
Yeah.
We can shake them and then we can return them to their
books.
parents.
Thank you for the opportunity to
So,
be here.
just one more point. I think on the back end of this sale, and something that I was very impressed when I spoke with Bunny, Bernadette Brickman, who is our librarian, and that is that anything left over that isn't purchased at the sale, the Friends and the Penfield Library have found outlets for recycling, so that the amount of waste or the amount of books that go to the landfill is almost non-existent, and they get recycled in some way, which I think is absolutely fantastic, even to a point where some of it picked up and you may get pennies on a pound or a ton, but at least it's getting recycled and upcycled rather than landfilled.
That's a good point, because the important thing, too, to get out, if you can, for us, is that nonprofits can come for free at 1:30 and pick up, have them bring their own boxes, but they can come pick up any leftover books for free at 1:30
On
the last
Saturday.
day,
On
on
Saturday.
Saturday.
On the last day. And, if they're from a nursing home or if they're homeschool situation, or anybody that's a nonprofit person that wants to come in and just take the books, they're more than welcome to come and get them. And we do have an outlet after that happens,
Yes.
where the books are actually trucked away for us, which is really a pretty good.
All
pretty good thing.
recycled.
Right.
It's all recycled.
Which
It's-
is,
yeah,
which is
exactly.
fantastic.
And you're a green town,
So,
so
very
you're happy
good.
to hear that, I'm sure.
Our green town.
Our green
green
town,
town.
absolutely.
Right.
Exactly
Now,
right.
if,
Yeah.
if people ask me if they still can donate for this year's sale, can they
Certainly.
do that? And what can they donate and where?
Okay, they can come to the library itself, and we have, there's a sign on the front door that said, ask at the desk what to do with your donations. And we have carts there for them to just put their books on. And if they can take the carts and roll it out to their car if they want to and bring them back into the library. But we take books, hardbacks and paperbacks. We take DVDs, CDs, books on tape,
Puzzles.
puzzles and games. And we also are the last library in Monroe County, I believe, to take LPs,
Right.
vinyl LPs. And people say, why the heck are you taking LPs? It's because we sell them. We have collectors who come in there and they just go crazy going through our LPs, and we have a lot of LPs this year too, probably because we're one of the few libraries that takes them. But we have a lot of LPs. It's kind of interesting. They're a quarter a piece, and of course on Friday they're 2 for a quarter. So, but
Can't go wrong.
No, can't go wrong with those.
Gary,
But,
somebody asked me if you take VHS tapes.
yes, we do. Absolutely, we have a wide selection of VHS, and that's another item that a lot of people think nobody wants anymore, but you'd be surprised how many people are in there buying VHS tapes. We still have a lot of those, and we don't get as many DVDs as we do VHSs. We get a lot more VHSs. So.
It's cleaning up their
After you
basements.
have your most successful sale ever this year, and people buy books and say, I want to donate for next year, do you start right away taking donations?
They can donate during the sale
Okay.
if they'd like. And,
Fill up the trailer again.
we'll have volunteers at the library throughout the year, right after the sale, or as I say, during the sale, that will be able to handle any donations that come in. So
Good to know.
we welcome them.
It truly is a community event, and I think the community should be.
If you would come right closer to the
I
microphone,
will.
because we want to make sure we capture this tidbit.
Wonderful thought. It truly is a community event, and there are many people in the community who not only work at the sale, but who buy books and who support it and spread the word. I think Penfield should be very proud of all of those who support the Penfield Friends of the Library book sale.
Thank you, Beverly.
You're welcome.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
very much
Now,
for the opportunity.
Good to
well,
see
thank
you.
you very much. And I wanted to ask if, and I hope I'm not putting you on the spot, Gary, but I would love to have you take a minute and, if you wouldn't mind, repeating the story we had, or the discussion we had prior to the start of this meeting, what's going to be taking place in and around Labor Day, and how you're going to be participating.
Okay, thank you. I'm the captain of the Honor Guard for the Empire Statesman Drum and Bugle Corps. That's been a fixture here in the Rochester area since 1983. And we've announced that this is our final year as a competitive unit, and for a lot of reasons, but this will be our final year. We have been competing all summer, and we'll be going to Annapolis, Maryland for the World Championships over Labor Day weekend. And I was sharing with Tony that for the opening ceremonies at the finals, which is on Sunday night, Labor Day week, the Marine Corps Drum and Bugle Corps from the barracks in Washington will be doing a performance, and also will be playing the national anthem. And the Empire Statesman Honor Guard will be supplying the Honor Guard and the colors with the Marine Corps to be on the field with the Marines there for the opening ceremonies, which is an incredible honor.
Absolutely.
We did it last year, and we'll do it again this year with them. And it's really an amazing thing to be around those people. So it's kind of exciting to do that.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that,
Sure thing.
Gary. That's
Yep.
a real honor, and congratulations to you.
Oh, thank you. Just one last thing about the Empire Statesman, if I may. This Saturday night, the 24th, I believe it is, there's a performance at Webster Schroeder High School. It'll be the final performance of the Empire Statesman here in Rochester. And it's a $10 item. There'll be, I think there's 7 or 8 other units that'll be there. The University of Buffalo Marching Band, the Webster Band, the Albion Band, the Mighty St. Joe's Alumni Corps, Scout House Alumni Corps from Kitchener, Ontario is coming down, and the Syracuse Brigadiers Alumni Corps, along with the Empire Statesman. So for $10, it's pretty good. Tickets are at Wegmans, if you'd like to come.
Okay. Well, great. Well, thank you for
Thank
that.
you.
And one last time, the sale for the library begins on,
Starts on the 10th, which is the Friends. That's a Tuesday. It starts at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And if you aren't a friend yet, you can join at the door for $5. And then Wednesday and Thursday, 10 to 9. Friday, 10 to 6, and that's our half-price sale. Saturday is the $3 bag sale from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
excellent.
So we'd like everybody to come.
Wish you all the best and
See you there.
record-breaking year.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much for everything you do with the Friends and for the Penfield Library. Okay. I'll ask our town clerk if she'd please call the roll.
Cole.
Here.
LaFountain.
Present.
Metzler.
Here.
Moore.
Here.
Quinn.
Here.
Great, thank you very much. We'll continue on with our communications and announcements, and we'll start with our town clerk, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. The next Penfield Passport Night will be held a week from this Thursday, August 29th, from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. in the Town Hall Auditorium right here. Councilwoman Paula Metzler will be joining me that evening to help with the process. It is not necessary to make an appointment. However, if you'd like to sign up for a time slot, you may contact me at 340-8629. When applying for the passport, please provide a completed application, typewritten or neatly printed in black or blue ink only. Do not sign the form until in the presence of a clerk. Applications will be on hand, however, that evening if you need them. We'll also need proof of U.S. citizenship in one of 3 forms. A certified copy of your birth certificate with a raised seal. Please make sure the birth certificate is the long form, which includes your name, parent's name, place of birth, file or registration date, and raised seal or certification markings. Also, we will accept naturalization papers or an old passport issued in your name will also be accepted. For more information and the necessary forms and instructions, you can find them on www.monroecounty.gov/clerk-passports.php.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Quinn.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Good evening, everyone. Registration is now open for the 11th Annual Family First Penfield 5K Challenge on Sunday, September 29th at Penfield Community Center. Check-in begins at 8 a.m. and the race will begin at 9. For complete information and registration information, please go to penfieldrec.org. Also, just a safety reminder, Webster and Penfield schools will start up again in the first week of September. So here are some great basic school safety, bus safety tips for drivers and kids to follow. Drive slowly and watch for children walking and playing in the street, waiting for the bus, especially if there are no sidewalks. Drivers, please slow down and prepare to stop when the yellow lights are flashing on the bus. Red flashing lights and an extended stop arm signal indicate that the bus is stopped and that the children are getting on or off, and cars must stop a safe distance away. Stand at least 6 feet away from the curb and line up away from the street while waiting for the bus. If you have to cross the street in front of the bus, walk at least 10 feet ahead of the bus before you cross. Be sure that the bus driver can see you and you can see the bus driver, and never walk behind the bus. And if you drop something near the bus, please tell the bus driver. Never try to pick it up because the driver may not be able to see you. For more bus safety tips and information, please visit safeny.ny.gov/kids. Thank you very much.
I have two announcements this evening. The first is the American Red Cross will be holding a blood drive at the Penfield Community Center this Friday, August 23rd, from 1 to 6 p.m. There is an urgent need for donors of all blood types, as well as platelet donors. Please call the American Red Cross to schedule a donation appointment at 1-800-RED-CROSS or schedule online at www.redcrossblood.org. If you donated on or before June 28th, you will be eligible to donate at this drive. Secondly, to close out our 2013 amphitheater series, the annual Tasting the Blues event will be held on Saturday, September 14th from noon to 4 p.m. at the amphitheater in the Kiwanis Stage, located in Veterans Memorial Park behind the Town Hall. Don't miss a fun-packed afternoon of great blues music, a chili contest, and beer sampling. Performing on stage will be Steve Grills and the Roadmasters playing Chicago-style blues. For more information, visit penfieldrec.org. Thank you.
Great, thank you. A couple of announcements. Received a nice letter from Jim Howe, who's chapter director of the Nature Conservancy, thanking us again on behalf of Letsmark PGA Nature Conservancy for the work at Rothfuss Park for planting the trees. But especially he wants to recognize Bob Garbeck. Bob Garbeck, who is our foreman in the Parks Department, was the person that got all the holes ready, got all the materials ready, and for anyone that has spent any time at Rothfuss Park, it can be pretty bony, and I'm sure that he dug a lot of rocks before he got the holes, but they were delighted to work with Bob, and Bob does always a great job helping out in this area. So this is from Jim Howe and Jan Miller, Senior Philanthropy Officer and a Penfield High School graduate of 1971. And I got a very special card from the Penfield Community Center Playground Group. I had an opportunity to participate as part of Career Day. So it gave me an opportunity to talk a little bit about the supervisor's office and some of my days in fire and security at Kodak. And so they were kind enough to sign all their names and thank those of us that participated in that. And my last comment is that on Monday, September 2nd, the Penfield offices will be closed for Labor Day. And I also want to make sure that everyone recognizes that the September 4th town board meeting, that's the first Wednesday, which would normally be a legislative session, was not scheduled at the beginning of the year. And that's to recognize Rosh Hashanah holiday that will be starting that day. And so the next legislative session of this board will be September 18th. Mr. Moore.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Join Renee Robert LaSalle on his historic war canoe ride through Ellison Park's wetlands on Sunday, September 15th, as Bay Creek Paddle donates their war canoe for this beautiful sail. The ride will explore LaSalle's passage through Irondequoit Bay. The quiet, gentle ride through the marsh will also include naturalist Dick Freitas, Penfield resident, who will be on board to point out birds, waterfowl, and local geology. Canoe rides will be offered from 12 noon to 4 p.m. and will leave the Bay Creek Paddle on Empire Boulevard. Advanced registration for this program is required through the Penfield Recreation Department. Limited seating is available. Proceeds to benefit Penfield Recreation. Early registration begins August 26th. Also, the Penfield Trails Committee will sponsor a free guided public hike on Saturday, September 14th at Smith Pioneer Cemetery from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. This East Penfield Heritage Tour will relive East Penfield circa 1900 with an optional van trip to Roseland. Look for hike signs. Participants are asked to register by calling Penfield Recreation at 340-8655. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have three announcements. First one, the Fall 2013 Penfield Recreation Program brochure is now available online. Registration begins Tuesday, September 3rd. It's packed with exciting program events for September through December. See it at penfieldrec.org. And I believe it's also in the mail. I got mine today, so hopefully other people did as well. You can look at it and find some great programs to participate in. And my second announcement is Penfield Recreation will hold their first Recreation Wellness Day on Sunday, September 29th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Penfield Community Center. The
The event will be held in conjunction with our Family First Penfield 5K Challenge and will showcase some of the many wellness programs we offer in our community throughout the year. Stop by this free event to sample some of the hundreds of classes we offer and get wellness information from professionals. There will be demonstrations, lectures, and displays. There will be something for everyone, so bring the whole family. For more information, visit penfieldrecreation.org. And my final announcement is that my next community chat will be Tuesday, September 17th from 5 to 7:30 in the new book area at the library. If you'd like to come and talk about any issues in Penfield you'd like to discuss or ask questions about. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Horowitz.
Nothing tonight, Mr. Supervisor.
The one thing I did not mention is about 4:30 today, I spent a little bit of time at Legacy Willow Pond. Today is Senior Citizen Day, and they wanted to have a little ceremony to recognize all of the seniors at Legacy. I passed up a glass of red wine and a spaghetti dinner to be here with all of you this evening, but I'll let you know that my heart lies with Legacy at this moment and the folks over there. But certainly, congratulations to them with a number of our seniors working a lot longer for the contributions that they've made for all of us over the years. I think it's important to recognize them for everything that they have done to help make us so successful. So special thanks to all of our seniors for Senior Citizen Day.
Very active group, the Legacy residents.
They are.
Every time I'm
They
there,
are.
very active group.
They're an active group. Okay. We'll move on to public participation. Two opportunities tonight at the beginning of the meeting and at the end of our resolution session. And Amy, I think you have
I do.
at least one.
Yes.
At
Tim
least one.
Murphy, please.
Tim, welcome.
Good evening, Town Board, Mr. Supervisor. Tim Murphy, 48 Corral Drive. I've had the honor the last 4 to 6 weeks to walk a lot of Penfield and talk to a lot of folks. And I think the timing is right. I've got both a question and a suggestion. School tax bills are coming out next week, and everybody's concerned about taxes. I don't think there's anybody that's not. And certainly it's a big topic of conversation. And I went and I did my homework. I pulled out my tax bills for the last 10 years and just, categorized them, and not surprised that, school bills regularly are 70 to 80% of our total tax levy. So one of the things that actually has come up a couple of times, and I guess I'm pleasantly surprised that people remember, and I wanted to ask the question, is earlier in the year, there was some conversation about a grant, a $50,000 grant for the town and the school district to work together. So my question is, where are we with that? Do we get the grant? Is anything underway?
Yes, to answer your question, both boards passed a resolution, and each one of the boards staked $3,000 for a total of $6,000 for a consultant to put together the grant application. That grant application was submitted prior to the end of the year, and I'm not going to have the exact date, but it was in that end of November, early December timeframe. And so as of the last conversation that I had with the consultant and the school district comparing notes, it was going to be sometime this fall, end of August, early September, that we would hear back as to whether or not the town and the school district might be able to get that. And that's a grant that could be as high as $1.5 million.
Wow.
So, and again, it was, the intent of that was for shared services, maintenance type of facility for shared services. So we continue to ask Mr. Brandt how that is coming. He continues to call our friends in the state, and our friends in the state say we should be hearing shortly. So hopefully over the next 2 to 4 weeks, 5 weeks, hopefully we hear something.
Well, that's good news, Mr. Supervisor.
It was originally, I think, slated, I think, in the neighborhood of March-ish, April-ish, and I think it just got pushed off. And I don't know if that was because staffing, volumes, whatever the case was. So hopefully very soon we should hear one way or the other.
Great answer, Mr. Supervisor. Thank you. As part of that, I'd like to also offer, I've worked for a couple of the largest companies in America, and as a matter of fact, I'm going through it right now with Thermo Fisher, where you learn the new definition of synergies, where companies come together and you identify gaps and overlaps, and they come together, and the idea is you come out stronger as one organization. So I'd like to offer, if you think you're going to have a citizens panel on that myself and maybe some of my colleagues at Thermo Fisher could assist with that, Mr. Supervisor.
Okay, thank you. And I would encourage certainly sharing that back with Dr. Grimm and his team as well.
Great. Thank you.
Excellent. Good.
So idea suggestion, Mr. Supervisor, the second half. I remembered this, and I know some other folks have, I hope you folks do too, is 4 or 5 years ago, Steve Nazarian had a suggestion where we would have some kind of, I'll say, East Side Penfield Summit with the communities, all the service providers in the community, the school districts, the towns, et cetera. We take a leadership position and say, hey, we all provide similar services. Let's get together and talk about that. How can we maybe do some things together? Recently, I think most of us know that Webster outsourced cutting the grass, and they've claimed a $75,000 savings there. So again, we cut grass, they cut grass. We plow roads, they plow roads. All kinds of facilities, opportunities, I think. But the idea is let's all get together and talk about it, and maybe have a third party facilitate something like that, and say, okay, where can we maybe start, put our toe in the water, and learn from it? And an example, maybe security services. I'm around town a lot, and a lot of you folks notice. We have folks for the school district and the town that go around to the parks and make sure that nothing's happening. Well, the geography might be as such, and the opportunity might be as such that maybe we could find something like that. So again, if I step back and say, how does this get started? Maybe some kind of summit, some kind of intermunicipal summit where maybe Penfield takes the lead and says, hey, we have to do this. People are talking about it. We know it's an opportunity. It's going to be a difficult thing to do, but let's get started. So what do you think, Mr. Supervisor?
Well, I think that in some regards, Tim, we do a little bit of that today.
Okay.
And so let me explain that. We have supervisors associations where all the supervisors of the 19 towns get together once a month. And we bring to the table a number of different things, especially around cost sharing, cost opportunities, things like that. And so, as you can imagine, the east side tends to gravitate to themselves, and the west side tends to gravitate just because of the logistics and the distance. But at Perrington, Webster, Penfield, Pittsford, we do a lot of sharing of equipment and personnel during the course of the year, and the reason we do some of that is, and that we don't charge each other is that we try to make it so that if Webster has a big job, we may send some of our equipment and our people over there. And then when we have a large job, we do the same type of thing. So we keep track of it that way because we didn't want to get in a situation of writing a check to them and then writing a check to us. And at the end of the day, everything was relatively cost neutral. So we do some of that. I know that from the Council of Governments, so all of us sit on the Council of Governments, and so the Council of Governments is all the villages, towns, school districts, City of Rochester, and County of Monroe. And we get together and talk about different common items that we do have. And we talk about what opportunities are there amongst the various agencies. And so we talk about a lot of the common problems we have, and that could be medical costs and some things like insurance costs. And that's how some of these consortiums have formed to try to help manage that. And then getting back more locally, Steve Grimm and myself, and prior to that, John Carlovati, what we attempt to do is on some regular basis get together and talk about some of those common interests between town and school district. Because I think there was a time that the school district and the town operated in their own silos. And I would like to think that over the past handful of years that we've tried to look at that a little bit differently. And I think that grant opportunity was one. Steve Grimm and myself have talked about a number of different services that we could do. I mean, we share back and forth gas as the need arises. They don't buy salt anymore. They get it from us because we buy so much, and we can leverage the cost for that. We've talked about things like plowing, mowing, security, and those types of things. But those are things that we've done locally, so within the Penfield side. We have not had as many detailed conversations on the Webster side of that. So we do some of that today. I think there is certainly opportunity to do more of that, as we go forward. No question about it. Because it's going to be a matter of survival, I think, for all entities.
Well, great answer. And I think some of the things you just said, a lot of people didn't realize that happens behind the scenes. So we appreciate you sharing that.
Absolutely.
But again, the opportunity is probably more now than ever before. Everybody's recognized that we have to find a way to do more, or at least the same with less. But again, I think breaking down the fiefdoms and recognizing that between the multiple school districts and towns on the east side, we have to find more synergies. So thank you for moving in that direction, and great answer.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And the flag's still hanging in there.
And the flag is still hanging. That's great to hear. That's
Appreciate
great
your
to hear.
time.
All right, thank you. Seeing no one else in the audience, but I'll at least ask the question. Any other sign-ins, Amy?
No, there are none.
And I've heard nothing from downstairs, so I have no call-ins. Then we'll continue on. There is a second opportunity at the end of the meeting. You can go to penfield.org. 377-8661 if you'd like to call from the comfort of your home. And you certainly have the opportunity to come here and be part of this meeting. Any additions or deletions to the agenda? Seeing none, approval of the minutes. We have the July 17th, 2013 minutes before us. I would ask for a motion of approval.
I'd like to move that the minutes of July 17th be approved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion on the minutes. Seeing none, a roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler. Aye. Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes.
Okay, petitions. Since our last get-together, has the board, town clerk, or town attorney received any petitions to bring before the board tonight? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to resolutions by function, please.
Authorization to 2013 New York State Assessors Seminar on Assessment Administration.
Moved.
Second.
Whereas it is in the best interest of the town of Penfield to provide for adequate educational opportunities for employees to maintain recertification requirements and to keep abreast of current laws. Now therefore be it resolved that Ann Buck, assessor, is hereby authorized to attend the New York State Assessors Seminar on Assessment Administration being held in Lake Placid, New York on the first week of October 2013 at a cost not to exceed $1,000. Funds for this seminar have been budgeted in the assessor's 2013 office.
Thank you. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler. Aye. Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes. Authorize the town supervisor to sign a contract with the University of Rochester Medical Center School of Nursing.
Moved.
Second.
Whereas the town of Penfield desires to offer a flu vaccination clinic to area residents. Whereas the University of Rochester Medical Center School of Nursing offers a flu vaccination clinic, and be it resolved that the town supervisor is hereby authorized to sign a contract with the University of Rochester Medical Center School of Nursing to provide said flu vaccination clinic for the town of Penfield on October 9th, 2013. Thank you.
Thank you. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler. Aye. Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes. 2013 Budget Amendment, Consolidated Highway Improvement Program.
Moved.
Second.
Whereas the New York State has increased the Consolidated Highway Improvement, known as CHIPS program, state aid from $164,000 to $205,000 during 2013. Whereas the Town Highway Department requires to repair additional town roads, has requirements to repair additional town roads during 2013. And whereas the Highway Department expenditures are to be funded from this CHIPS program. Be it resolved that the following budget amendment be approved as follows. Highway funds revenue, description CHIPS state aid, increased amount of $41,000, revised amount of $205,000. Highway Fund appropriations, CHIPS capital projects, increased amount $41,000, revised amount $205,000. Thank you.
Thank you. Discussion.
I'd just like to commend, once again, as Chair of Public Works, commend our Superintendent Ronnie Williams for joining along with other highway superintendents each year to go to Albany for Highway Day, I guess is Public Works Highway Day is what I call it, to lobby for this aid. It's much needed, and it's great to see our New York State government actually pushing some money to Western New York. And in this regard, this will help repair some town roads, certainly increasing or maintaining public safety for our residents. So again, thanks to Ronnie for making that trek to Albany and lobbying along with his peers.
Okay, great. The discussion? See none, a roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes. Employee handbook revisions.
Moved.
Second.
Whereas the Town of Penfield Town Board adopted an employee handbook on January 3rd, 1989, and the board has committed to keeping this information up to date. Now therefore be it resolved that the following revisions and additions on file with the town clerk are approved for inclusion in the employee handbook effective August 21st, 2013. For additions under compensation, step increases on page 111, and for revisions, appendix wage salary schedules, Exhibit A, corrections of titles to comply with civil service title changes and updates. Most of these are on the administrative side of corrections and revisions. Thank you.
Thank you. Discussion?
I would just add that this is to conform with New York State civil service law.
That is correct. Okay, seeing no further discussion, a roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes. Authorization to attend American Planning Association Upstate New York Chapter Annual Conference.
Moved.
Second.
Whereas the 2013 Planning Department budget includes funding intended to allow a representative to attend the APA Upstate New York Chapter Conference. Whereas it is in the town's best interest to have staff members attend training workshops to gain knowledge pertaining to current practices in zoning, preservation, environmental protection, redevelopment, and case law. Whereas the town planner also serves as the 9-county Genesee Finger Lakes Section President, as well as the APA Upstate New York Executive Board, which meets during the conference. Now therefore be it resolved that the town planner is hereby authorized to attend the American Planning Association Upstate New York Annual Conference to be held from September 25th through September 27th in Schenectady, New York, for a cost not to exceed $600. This cost will be allocated from the 2013 departmental conference budget. Thank you.
Thank you. Discussion? So just for the record, our town planner, Katie Evans, is the person that this resolution is referring to. And I think it's important to recognize Katie for being the current section president of the 9-county, as well as being on the executive board. It's a nice honor for Katie. It certainly is a nice honor for the town of Penfield. And this is a great workshop that is close, local, that doesn't require a lot of travel and a lot of expense. And this is some good, not only continuing education credits that she gets for this, but also some great material back to the town. Okay, seeing no further discussion, a roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes. Setting a public hearing for the issuance of a special permit to allow the construction of a 1.280 square foot office building at 2041 Penfield Road.
Moved.
Second.
Whereas an application has been received by the Penfield Town Board for the issuance of a special permit pursuant to Article 3-3-49-C of the code to allow the construction of a 1,280 square foot office building at 2041 Penfield Road, located in the Planned Development Zoning District. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Penfield shall hold a public hearing at the Town Hall on September 18th, 2013 at 7:30 PM on said date to consider the said application and to hear all persons interested on the question of the issuance of this special permit for a 1,280 square foot office building at 2041 Penfield Road. Thank you.
Discussion? Seeing none, a roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes. Approval of issuance of a conditional use permit to allow a gourmet and chocolate shop at 1865 Penfield Road.
Moved.
Second.
Whereas an application has been received by the Penfield Town Board for the issuance of a conditional use permit pursuant to Article 3-3-97 of the code to allow a gourmet chocolate shop at 1865 Penfield Road, located in the Four Corners zoning district. Whereas the Town Board of the Town of Penfield held a public hearing at the Town Hall on August 7th, 2013 at 7:30 PM on said date to consider the said application and to hear all persons interested on the question of the issuance of this conditional use permit to allow a gourmet and chocolate shop at 1865 Penfield Road in the Four Corners zoning district. And the public hearing was closed and a decision was reserved. Be it resolved that the applicant's request for a conditional use permit to allow a gourmet chocolate shop is hereby granted, subject to the following conditions. Supervisor, I'd just like to point out that the conditions stated in the resolution are all consistent with the Four Corners zoning district. Thank you.
Thank you. Discussion?
I would just like to add, as I mentioned in prior approvals for businesses coming into the Four Corners, it's certainly flourishing in the last couple of years. We truly can eat our way around the Four Corners, Mr. Horwitz. And as I facilitated a day-long training here for municipal employees today, I was emphasizing that as public officials, it's our charge to really encourage people to live, work, play, and stay in the town of Penfield. And I think I need to add eat to that the next time I speak on that topic. So this is a welcome addition in terms of filling a vacancy now that Dollop has moved out. So I'm sure that this will be well received by those who are eating their way through the Four Corners.
Okay.
And Mr. Supervisor, I'd just like to point out that obviously this operation shall comply with all federal, state, county, and town codes.
Further discussion? Seeing none, a roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes. Setting a public hearing for a conditional use permit and preliminary and final site plan approval to allow a 64 square foot addition for ice cream service and a 120 square foot deck addition at 1794 Penfield Road.
Moved.
Second.
Whereas an application has been received by the Penfield Town Board for the issuance of a conditional use permit pursuant to Article 3-3-97 and Article 9-9-2 of the code to allow a 64 square foot addition for ice cream service and a 120 square foot addition at 1794 Penfield Road. The 120 square foot is for the deck, located in the Four Corners zoning district. Therefore, be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Penfield shall hold a public hearing at the Penfield Town Hall on September 18th, 2013 at 7:30 PM on said date to consider said application and hear all persons interested on the question of the issuance of a conditional use permit to allow the 64 square foot addition for ice cream service and a 120 square foot deck addition at 1794 Penfield Road in the Four Corners zoning district. Thank you.
Thank you. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes. Setting public hearing for final subdivision and site plan approval to allow 10 residences in Phase 1D of the Abington Place subdivision on 5.6 plus or minus acres at 1229 Fairport 9 Mile Point Road.
Moved.
Second.
Whereas pursuant to Local Law 2 of 2003, known as the Town of Penfield Incentive Zoning Law, on May 4th, 2011, the town board granted preliminary overall subdivision and site plan approval for 99 single-family residences for the Abington Place subdivision. Whereas the town board has received an application for final subdivision and site plan approval for the development of 10 residences in Phase 1D of the Abington Place subdivision under Article, it's like 8-8-2 and Article 11-9-2 of the code, on 5.6 plus or minus acres in the residential 1 RR-1 zoning district at 1229 Fairport 9 Mile Point Road. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Penfield will hold a public hearing at the Penfield Town Hall on September 18th, 2013 at 7:30 p.m. on said date to consider the application and to hear all persons interested on the question of consideration of this application. Thank you.
Thank you. Discussion, board? See no discussion, roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes. Setting public hearing on 2014 preliminary budget and special districts budget.
Moved.
Second.
Be it resolved that be it resolved that a public hearing on the proposed Town of Penfield 2014 preliminary budget and the 2014 special district budget be held on Wednesday, October 2nd, 2013 at 7:30 p.m. at the Penfield Town Hall, and that all persons wishing to be heard be given an opportunity at that time. Be it further resolved that the town clerk cause a notice of the public hearing to be published in the official newspaper at least 10 days prior to the hearing. Be it further resolved that the legal notice shall also list a summary of the 2014 budget as required by law and contain a statement that a copy of the preliminary budget is available at the town office, at the town clerk's office, where any interested person may inspect it during office hours on or after September 12th, 2013. A copy of the 2014 preliminary budget is also available in the Finance Department at the Town Hall, located at 3100 Atlantic Avenue, and at the Public Library at 1985 Baird Road, as well as penfield.org. Thank you.
Okay. Discussion. This is tracking consistent with the budget process. Public hearing on the 2nd of October. The tentative budget will be rolled out to the board on September 11th. And then the goal would be to adopt the budget on the 16th at our legislative session on the 16th. Again, consistent with what we've done for, I think Bob Beeden will tell you, 35 or 6 years, so or more. So, okay. Further discussion? Seeing none, a roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes. Authorization for supervisor to sign recreation contracts.
So moved.
Second.
This authorizes the town supervisor to sign 33 recreation contracts, and they're all dealing with providing for programs or instructors for programs found in the Fall Penfield Recreation Brochure.
Okay. Discussion. Seeing no discussion, a roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes.
Thank you. Brings us to old business. Any old business to come before the board this evening? Seeing none. Is there any new business to come before the board this evening? Again, seeing none. This is our second public participation opportunity. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address the board on any matter? Okay, seeing none. Then there being no further business before the board, I will declare this meeting of August 21st, 2013 adjourned. Thank you. Have a great evening, and thank you, PCTV.